Hello, Silver Spring family. Pastor Will here, coming to you with some updates about our life and community together. First, some words of celebration. I have been so grateful over these past 7 months to serve this vibrant and growing community. We are a congregation passionate about proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ, not simply in worship on Sundays, but in the ways we're addressing food insecurity through programs like our mobile food pantry and Smart Sacks, and deepening discipleship through growing opportunities to study, learn, and journey together. From the 20 kids on average who are present each Sunday for Children's Chapel, to the nearly 200 people who gather in person and online for worship each week, God is doing amazing things among us and through us as we build beloved community for our community on our corner in Silver Spring. Praise be to God. I also want to share with you 3 very important updates about our life and community together as we enter 2023. First, a word about staff transitions. Now, you know that the last 7 months have seen a lot of change in the professional servants that serve our congregation. You've welcomed me and Pastor Daniel in July. In November, we bid farewell to our long-term Director of Music Ministries, Mary Ann Willow. And in December, we announced that our Director of Operations, Andrew Kirkland, would transition off of our staff team effective January 31st of this year. Today, I want to share the news of an additional staff transition. As many of you know, Kiana Mayfield has, through her 2 tenures on our staff team, faithfully served as a hub for information, communication, and connection at SSUMC. We are grateful for her presence and persistence in helping keep us together throughout much of the COVID-19 pandemic. Kiana shared with Andrew and I last week that she has taken a new position that will allow her to lean into professional skills that she is not currently using at SSUMC, grow in her own professional capacities, and allow her to do work which she deeply enjoys. While we are sad to see Kiana go, we both celebrate that we are stronger because of her time with us and the opportunities for her personal and professional growth in this new season. I am working together with the Leadership Council to do a full review of the position descriptions for both our Director of Operations and our Operations Manager in light of this transition, to make sure that as we move into the future, we can do so in a way that best meets the needs of our whole congregation in ministry. You can also join us in honoring both Andrew and Kiana by contributing to a love offering for them. Those gifts can be made online by selecting the fund titled Love Offering and their name, or by writing a check or making a cash donation clearly marked Love Offering, followed either by Andrew or Kiana's name. Second, a word about our financial and operational picture as we enter 2023. First, some good news. At the conclusion of 2023, we exceeded the amount of gifts budgeted for congregational giving by almost $22,000. And over the course of our 2022 stewardship campaign, 87 giving units, of which 10 are brand new, have pledged to give a total of $483,405 in 2023. All to support our vision of feeding people mind, body, and spirit. Now, that is our highest total in pledged giving in over 6 years. 6 years. That's because of you. And this number puts us within $116,000 of our $600,000 goal for 2023. You know, if just every adult member of our congregation who had not yet pledged were to give $10 a week, that's the cost of a fast food meal, or if you're a coffee aficionado like me, a couple of cups of good coffee, would not only help us close the gap, but we'd exceed our goal. So let me encourage you to consider, if you haven't already, making a pledge to help us keep our financial future bright at SSUMC this year. And remember, a pledge is just an estimate of giving. Now, this leads me to the final and more challenging news about our financial picture as we enter 2023. On December 20th, 2022, as we were preparing to end our year, our Director of Operations, Andrew Kirkland, noticed what he thought was a typo in our November financial reports. After repeated attempts to contact our accounting firm, Golden LLC, for clarity, Andrew was notified by Golden that they had made errors in the way they counted our deposits, resulting in an error totaling $63,000. It was later determined that deposits were double counted, meaning that a deposit was made and counted twice instead of just once, in February, March, September, and October of 2022. While this does not mean that money was lost, misappropriated, or misplaced, it does mean that it looked as if we had more income than we actually did. The cost of this error, in addition to contributing to an already anticipated deficit for 2022, is the way it impacted our forecasting for church income in 2023. And this likely means that we will have to pay careful attention to our income, as well as make significant adjustments to our budget in order to avoid deficit spending in 2023 and 2024. Hear me when I say that our leadership council and I, as your lead pastor, are committed to creating a sustainable financial future for our congregation, which does not involve, in the long term, deficit spending. Now, when Andrew found this error, he immediately notified me, and working together, he and I have been collaborating closely with our leadership council, conference chancellor, district superintendent, and other legal advisors to determine our next best steps. In addition to terminating all agreements with the Golden Group, a letter from the council has been sent requesting restitution totaling $10,326, or their monthly fees for the months in which that double counting occurred, as well as full reimbursement for a forensic audit of all of our finances that the council is committed to conducting by or before January 2024. In addition, a new accounting firm specializing in church accounting, NP Accounting, has been engaged by the council to assume responsibility for all of our financial procedures, including compliance, donor management, accounting, payroll, bill pay, vendor contract management, tax filing, and some HR-related support. NP Accounting has already begun working with the council and Andrew to manage this transition, and our staff contact there, Julie Hansen, is hard at work to ensure that all of our financial practices, procedures, and controls are up to date and working to protect you and our whole congregation and the long-term financial health of our congregation as we move together into the future. I want to take a moment to offer a special word of thanks to our treasurer, Lee Bullis, and our leadership council chair, Dave Ottolini, for their quick response, careful discernment, and thoughtful leadership in this matter, especially over the Christmas and New Year's holidays. Together, I know that they are committed to stewarding the ways that you invest yourself, time, talent, and treasure at SSUMC, so that together we can sustain this movement of Christ's love, not just next year, but for generations to come. I'm also aware that this is a lot of information to take in, and that much of it could make you feel some anxiety or concern. On Sunday, January 29th, 2022, I'll hold a meeting following worship to listen to any of the concerns that you have and to answer as many questions as I possibly can. I also know that even in the midst of these challenges and changes, we've seen God's presence among us, God's work still being done through us, and God's vision for our community continue to flourish. And I have full faith in you and in God, who has seen us through all that is behind us, and that God is with us now, helping us to have what we need to answer the call God has placed on our lives. As the old hymn reminds us, we stand on the solid rock of Christ's love, and from that solid rock we can journey into the future trusting that even when it is uncertain, we do not need to be afraid. Between now and the 29th, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me or contact the church office so that we can set up a time to chat. I am available to you as we continue discerning and moving together into the future. Take good care, and many blessings along the way.